Festival gathering season is upon us here in the United States. Thanksgiving is coming up in just a couple of weeks. And if the thought of gathering with extended family gives you a tight feeling in your stomach, this video is for you. I'm not going to tell you to just be grateful or keep the peace. I'm going to share effective energetic techniques that can really help you enjoy the holiday experience. Hello and welcome. My name is Mira, the Neurospicy Crone, and we have an advantage when we're older and highly sensitive and or neurodiverse. It simply means we have a highly attuned nervous system, and the nervous system is the bridge between the physical body and the energy body. And it's so fascinating because I think of the human experience like a full sentence. And the physical aspect of our experience is the period at the end of the sentence. And the whole rest of the sentence just gets ignored. But when we tune in to the energetics of ourselves and others and the world around us, which we can do, we have an advantage in that area, then we can really smooth a lot of tension. We can really clear a lot of path for ourselves. So I want to give you some specific techniques that you can use before, during, and after gathering with people who you just might not groove with totally, but you know, family is family for a reason. I believe that we chose our incarnation, we chose our family, and we chose our experiences at a soul level because we really want to experience life. We don't want it to be smooth sailing all the time. That would be boring. If you went on vacation and nothing happened, it would be boring. So our family is a wonderful place for personal growth. It's also a wonderful place for unconditional love. But let's be real, family dynamics can be messy, messy, messy. Especially now, especially if you live in the United States, a lot of families are experiencing a lot of rupture based on the political mayhem that's happening right now. So that's just something I want to speak to because it's happening. I know families, fortunately, this hasn't happened in my own family, but a lot of families there's been rifts, but you're still trying to get together. But there's these huge things. So that's really what I want to address and give you some practical tools that you can use. So the first one is called the Heart Temple Meditation. This is something that I have been teaching for decades and practicing myself. I originally learned some aspect of it from Marianne Williamson. I did a workshop with her at Kripalu, which is a yoga center out east. It's evolved dramatically over the years. But basically, I will run you through how it works. And then I'm going to share with you a recording of it so you can be guided through it a few times until you get the hang of it. And then you really make it your own. Make it work for you. I have to tell you that this recording is at least 15 years old, maybe 20 years old. You'll hear it in my voice. You're like, who is that? Formal young lady. But anyways, it's just free. You don't have to sign up for anything. I'll just drop a link to a Google Drive box where you can download the audio of this. But let me just tell you kind of how it goes. So first of all, you're going to get yourself centered like you're preparing to meditate. You want to sit tall, you want to relax your body, you want to connect with your breath. Then you're going to become aware of your heart space. And within your heart space, and what is your heart space? That's up to you to become aware of. It can be in the center of your chest, it can be anywhere. So your heart space, and within your heart space, there's a flame about the size of your own thumb. Focus on this. And then within this flame resides your own heart temple. You want to spend some time sort of creating the scene. Like, what is the surrounding terrain of your heart temple? What is the heart temple? Is it a building? Is it a clearing in the woods? If it is a place, you know, become aware of the details of the door as you enter into your heart temple. So you're inviting yourself into your own heart temple energetically, and then become aware of the heart temple inside. Like, what's the decor? Again, is it just a flower-filled garden, or is it a fancy formal temple? Is it teak wood floors or smooth marble? Just notice what your heart temple is. You're making an actual place for yourself, like a sanctuary or a safe haven. This is your heart temple. And then you're going to become aware of the presiding deity of your own heart temple. Again, totally personal, completely subjective. Somebody or something or some entity has already popped into your mind. That's it. That's true for you. It could be Jesus. It could be the Buddha. It could be Allah. It could be Jah. It could be one of 30 million Indian deities, or all of the 30 million deities. It could be something more abstract, like the Great Spirit that moves in all things, or higher consciousness, or creator. So whatever's true for you, there's an energy that connects you to all that is. Consciousness, however you want to define it. And we get to define it for ourselves. That's part of the elevation of consciousness of humanity that's happening right now. So once you've done that, you've set the scene, you kind of get familiar with your heart temple. I recommend doing this every day. It's a wonderful daily practice, but certainly as you're approaching these situations that you want to have a little more peace in. So once you've set the scene, you've connected with the deity or the presence or the essence, you're going to become aware of your own heart energy and the energy just above your head. It's like your own personal sun. Really feel into the energetic experience of your own personal sun. This is like the monad. This is like the connection to source. And then become aware of that with the presiding deity. It could just honestly be a flower or Jesus or Mother Mary or whatever it is for you. And then you're going to embrace with that essence, that deity. So if it's Jesus, big hug, you feel your hearts connect, you feel the two suns merge as one. So this is the power in this practice. You're recognizing your soul light and the soul light of, in this case, the deity, and you're merging as one. These two lights merge as one. Oh my gosh, you're just going to feel it. You're like, whoa, this feels amazing. Now, once you've done that, you're going to start inviting people in to your heart temple to both connect with you in that way and to connect with the presiding deity in that way. So invite in your sister who makes those snarky, like passive aggressive comments to you. Invite her in at this soul level. Feel her experiencing the beauty of your heart temple. You're just observing. Allow her to commune with this presiding deity. They hug. You see their two suns above their heads merge as one. You can also give her a hug in this manner and see your two suns merge as one. And then she can sit down and relax and bask in the beautiful energy of your heart temple. And then invite in your Uncle Joe, who immediately is going to start talking about his political views that are extremely opposed to your political views, and you're going to invite him in and you're going to have him connect with the deity. Maybe it's Saraswati, the Indian goddess of rivers and music and knowledge. Maybe that's who you connect with. So Saraswati is going to give Uncle Joe a big hug. You're going to see his personal sun above his head, Saraswati's, and the Indian deities actually show it. They'll show this in most pictures. You'll see it. And on it goes. Then Joe sits down next to your sister, and then you invite in your grandmother who's maybe no longer living, and you're inviting her into your heart temple, and you're communing with her presence and essence. She gets to merge with Saraswati, even though, like my grandmother, who is no longer living, is not into Hindu deities at all. That would be probably maybe even a little offensive for her. But we're beyond personality. We're beyond our ego. And so your deceased relatives can come into your heart temple as well, and you'll feel the energy really shift. You can do this once right before the holiday gathering meal, or you can do it, every day or several times in the weeks leading up to this experience. And then once everybody's, you've taken the time, if you've got 12 family members that are going to be at this holiday gathering and you want to invite all 12 of them in, go for it. I think that's a really great idea. Even the people that you get along with great, like, oh, I love my cousin, I'm going to call her and tell her to do this too. That kind of thing, whatever it is. And then once you've done this, basically you're going to release everybody. You're going to see everybody go off and be happy and full of love or whatever they want to be. It's not up to us. And then reconnect with that flame, and then reconnect with your body. And then that's basically the practice. And again, I'll share this recording with you so you can do it. So the purpose of doing it, and I'm going to give an example because it really does work. It's really effective. And we have a huge advantage because most people are completely unaware of their ability to take action and initiate something at the energetic level. So this is a real secret superpower. For 20 years, I trained kids yoga teachers, and this is where this comes from. I would train all my teachers to do the heart temple meditation for the children in the classes. A lot of times kids come in and they're really disruptive. Their behavior is really erratic. They're really hard to engage. And I had a kid like this in one of my classes, and I did the heart temple meditation with him in the mornings before I would go teach the classes. And before I did this, he was just really, he was a real challenge. Like he was looking to bump up against authority, And so I would try to engage him in all these different ways during class. And I was like, okay, heart temple meditation time. I did this. And the next class, he came running up to me and gave me a big hug. We had hugged in my heart temple several times, never before on the material plane, but he was just like, oh my God, you see me, you get me. I got to hug Ma Saraswati. This is amazing. I feel so good. So his soul, I met his soul, which is so beautiful. The personality, the ego, that's where all the trouble is. That's where all the mess in our society today is now. And the fact of the matter is consciousness is evolving. It's not necessarily up. It's not necessarily different from where we are. It's consciousness is evolving might be like, oh, there's more space. There's more room for me to be who I am. I want to make sure that it doesn't feel like, oh, there's driving. I need to up level. It's not really like that. It's like, when we open and allow and let go is a way to expand our consciousness and talk about 3D and 5D. It's not necessarily levels like that. It's like 3D and 5D kind of. So it really works. I recommend you try it before and then also try it afterwards as well. Kind of like a decompress, you do something in your business and you're like, okay, let's decompress. Let's do a debrief. So you can do the heart temple meditation after, regardless of what happened. So that's the first technique. It's super helpful. I really hope you try it. And I would love to hear if you do and how it works in the comments. The second one is sort of like on the dot when you're with someone. So again, fortunately, I don't have an Uncle Joe. My uncles happen to be really cool. We happen to all kind of have the same worldview, which is such a gift. And I realize so many families don't. I realize that it's a challenge. So Uncle Joe, you sit down and he immediately basically attacks you verbally. Like, oh, you think this, you liberals or whatever your orientation is. I'm not making any assumptions. And then you're like, you can feel you're activated. Your nervous system is activated. So your breath is always a key tool. Hand on the belly and just slow, even breathing. Then here's the energetic aspect of this. You're going to focus on your heart. And when you do this as a daily practice, it's much easier to do on the dot. When you're out in the field, a combat roll, like I used to kayak. And when you have to roll in the white water, it was called a combat roll. Like you're in the actual situation, not just practicing in the calm water at the shore. So itchy nose. So you're going to focus on your heart energy. Beautiful, solar, sunny, shiny, crystal, sparkly energy in your heart, whatever that feels like to you. And you're going to focus on it and you're going to breathe. And Joe is coming at you. Uncle Joe is barking at your heels and you're breathing and you're focusing on your heart energy. Your whole demeanor will change when you get out of that ego oppositional personality, which is very hard to do. I'm not saying this is necessarily going to be easy, but this is our work. This is where we're at. Then you're going to focus on Uncle Joe's heart energy. You're just going to experience his soul light shining. You might even get a smile on your face and he's going to be like, what's wrong with you, girl? What are you doing? But just focus on your heart energy. Focus on his heart energy. Just let it fill the room with light. And when you practice this, you will notice a shift. A lot of people dismiss this kind of work. They're like, oh, shoo, whatever, woo woo. But I'm telling you, we are an energetic experience and the physical body is just like an anchor for that. And the nervous system, as I mentioned, is the bridge between the physical body and the energetic body. So because we have such finely tuned nervous systems or sort of unconventional nervous systems, we actually have a better access. It's easier for us to do this work. So that's it. Shine your light. Walk into the house, maybe take a few breaths before you enter and do that light shining thing. And then whenever something feels activating, slow breathing, shine your light, and look for their soul light too. Just assume love in the other. Not just. I know it can be a challenge. Assume love in the other, and then do whatever practically you need to do to keep healthy boundaries. Like, hey, this isn't a topic that works for me right now, or however you want to say it. You're a gracious and kind person. You'll find a great way to say it. You might even want to practice. I found myself in a situation with a person in my life who has very different political views than I do, and we were going to spend some time together. And my partner and I actually practice. Like, if this topic comes up, let's talk about this. If this happens, let's go about that. And we sort of thought about common interests like music, baseball, and this fun memory from the past. So we had rehearsed how to change the subject. And it's pretty easy to change the subject. If you go to something that somebody's interested in, like baseball, who doesn't love baseball? then you can kind of get out of that sticky water. But that's more of a practical, social, conversational tool. I'm talking more about the energetics in this video. So that is it. And then afterwards, and even before, self-care. Self-care is critical. So if you do have a gathering that feels like, oh, I'm dreading it, it's going to be such a challenge, or even if it's going to be exciting and you love your family, but being with family is overwhelming just because it's so many people and it's so many dynamics, and you happen to be wearing like a scratchy sweater dress or something, you know, take care of yourself before so you're well rested, you're well hydrated, you've been spending time in nature, you can journal through your thoughts. It's extremely effective. And these sound, again, so like, oh, self-care, journal, and spend time in nature, and take a walk, and breathe, and drink water. But this is what works. This is what your nervous system needs. It's so basic. You don't need to take some advanced course on self-care. Just drink water and get good sleep and spend time in nature, both before and after. I do recommend also a bath in Epsom salts, because Epsom salts will clear your energy, so you actually can rinse off any energetic debris that you may have picked up. If people are like flinging negative energy at you, you can actually pick it up. It becomes kind of a, you know, just like you get dirty and you gotta take a shower and wash off the dirt. You gotta wash off the energetic stuff. So that is it. You can do it. You're made for this. You've been training your whole life to do this. And I want to take it a step further. Here's your bonus activity, is that if you are going to be traveling in public spaces, right now, the airports are going to be a challenge because of what's going on in our country. And the pilots, the flight attendants, the gate agents, the people at the counters, the baggage handlers, they're all, and the traffic controllers, but you're not going to see them, they're all under an extreme amount of pressure and stress for their work, in addition to whatever family dynamics they have going on as humans. So if you want to do that heart to heart, I see you, hold my own heart energy, hold your heart energy to everybody you interact with at the airport, that's a beautiful service to humanity. Because again, humanity is elevating. We're elevating our consciousness. People can go kicking and screaming. They can resist, they can pull back, they can get caught in the back toe of it, or we can lead and be out in front. And this is a wonderful way for us to step into roles of leadership. We don't have to be standing at a podium speaking to 10,000 people. We can be sitting quietly in our seat at the airport terminal, sending love to everybody who's there, letting our own heart energy shine. So this is a real gift that we can do. And we can send it to the air traffic controllers. We don't have to be in physical presence with them. We can think about the air traffic controllers in their towers and send them love, because they're dealing with a lot. It's a lot. I don't want to get into the details of it. You know, if you know, you know. If you're watching this video from the United States, you're aware of what's going on. So let's do this. The holidays are upon us. It's a magical time of celebration. It all comes from the winter solstice, whatever tradition that you practice. It's a seasonal ritual. So if you want to look into the more earth-based, nature-based aspects of this gathering time, then whether it's the Thanksgiving time or the Christmas time or whatever holidays that you celebrate with your family, that there is a real beauty to gathering. There is a real deep and beneficial meaning to breaking bread together. So to kind of feel into the deeper aspects of that, because a lot of times it becomes very transactional with stuff and things, and we can tap into the more energetic experience of that. So there you have it, a couple practical tools that you can use anytime. I recommend doing this ongoing, and as I mentioned, I will leave a link to the recording that you can use as a guide to get started with this practice in the description below. And if you'd like to be connected with a community of people who get it, who are doing this kind of work and supporting each other as we literally vibe up, I want to invite you to join the Crone's Nest. It's a group of women who are over 50, highly sensitive, neurodiverse, and really letting a nature-based lifestyle, a creativity-focused lifestyle, a spiritually focused lifestyle really lead our lives in this third stage of life. We'd love to have you, and I'd love to hear you comment, like, where are you at with this with family, and which tools have you used and how have they helped you? And thank you so very much for being here. If you're new, please subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.